Hello, hello everyone. How are you? Hello, Kathy. Shut the door so that, Maggie doesn't come in and start whining and doing all that fun stuff. So, hello, tell me that you are here by commenting below. Also, don't forget to give a big thumbs up and to share the video. I would greatly appreciate all that. Hello, Nancy and Sharon. Hello, hello. So we are, I don't have very many announcements, just a few. We're going to be playing with an online exclusive tonight. Hey, Deb. Hey, Linda. And those will actually start on the 5th, which is Friday of this week. But I wanted to go ahead and start using those products because I am madly in love with them. And so we are going to use them. And the projects that we are actually, the bundle that we're playing with tonight is also one of the cards that I created for the tutorial bundle, the monthly tutorial bundle that I do. This is it. I don't have a printout yet of the July, but this is the monthly tutorial. When you spend $50 in my online store, I send you that tutorial for free. So if you do that, you'll have the July one because obviously today is July the 1st. So, but that is the card, and then we're going to create with that bundle, and it is called the Frosted Forest. So Frosted Forest. I'm going to, every time I've said it, I've said Frosted Florist, and I don't know why, but it's Frosted Forest. And I love forest, so I don't know why I keep saying florist, but, and then the really cool thing is that this actually comes with decorative masks. It's not the like embossing folder, it's an actual mask bundle. So that's really cool. So I can't wait to show y'all that. And the only other announcement I actually have is this is the whole bucket. Well, these are the ones that have been ordered. And these will all be going out in the mail in the next few days as I get, customers can start ordering on the 3rd. See, I thought the 3rd was, Deb, I looked at that. Maybe I read the 5th and it's the 3rd. Something starts on the 5th. I don't know what the 5th is then, because something starts on the 5th. I could be totally wrong, but thank you for correcting me. So it's the 3rd, so it would be Wednesday. This is the watermelon class. This class has 4 cards, and then it also has a box that you can create. These have already been ordered. These, I'm just waiting for the products to come in. Some actually came in just a little while ago. Oh, it was June. Oh, okay, yep. Then I read it wrong. Yep. Okay, so July 3rd, you get to start ordering the products we're using tonight on Wednesday. Yay! Even better, right? I have a few more of these watermelon classes that are, I want to say I have like maybe 8 left after this one, after this like batch here. So if you are interested in that, please email me and I can send you the link. Or if you get my emails, the emails are in there, so make sure that you get your hands on this. It comes with, I've already put everything up because I was ready to move on with my life. But hold on, let me show you. So this class comes with the make and take package, and then it comes with 2 packs of embellishments. It's some pearls and then some like glitter gems. And then it also comes with a bolt of linen thread, my favorite, and then my other favorite, the large checked very vanilla and black ribbon. And then, of course, you get a half a pack of the paper for this kit as well. So I have more, and if you have ordered in the last 2 weeks, I'm waiting for, I got a good chunk of them in today. I'm just waiting for one more. order to come in, and then I will ship them all at the same time. So those are ready to go. Yay! I was trying to get ahead of the game so that I wasn't like rushing around last minute to get them all packaged and all that good stuff. So, hello, Carrie and Marsha. I don't think I said hello to you. So hello to you as well. All right, so I am gonna dive right into our projects and I'm gonna put you down on the table. So let me cover you up and see if I can get it straight. And there we go. Make sure I'm here. All right, so let me put my little thing back up. Okay. And I feel like I need to come down just a little bit tonight. I don't know. I feel like it's gone back up again, but let's see if I can do that. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to try to stay in the actual space that we are supposed to have. Okay, so here's an up close look again at the bundle. So you have the Frosted Forest, say that 10 times fast, stamp set, and then you have the dies. And I love this die. This die will be great for some Halloween stuff right here. So be prepared to see that in the future. And then we have the masks. And I'm going to show these to you before we get started. So you have one that will actually do this tree right here, okay? And it's going to be 3 steps. So you've got 1, 2, and 3. And when you place it over, of course, this is smaller than this is larger than the image, just FYI. And then you'll basically hold it down, and we'll walk through this with some projects, and then you just color it in. So you start with 1, and then you go to 2, and then you go to 3. Then you have the mask for both of these as well, and these are on the same one. So you've got the small and the large all on one. This one is labeled A, B, and C, so that you know which order to do them in. Obviously, you can do them the other way, but you want your last one, your C or your number 3, you want that to be your darkest image, and so that is how they build it up for you. Okay, so let's dive into our first project. I'm going to see if I can move some of this stuff just a little bit further out of my way. And I might have to zoom back out just a touch, maybe. I might not need to. Okay. All right. So here is our first project. And I am totally in love with our new embossing powder. So our new embossing powder is called Wow. And it really is truly wow. I got all new containers. The old ones are all in my retired bin, but it's called Wow, and they come in a pack of 3, so you get like gold, copper, and silver, and then you get white, black, and clear in the next one. So anyway, I used it for the first time and it was magnificent. I'm not necessarily going to say like it's, knocked my socks off by any means, but I do think that it is way better than our old stuff. So I was all for it. We're going to even do a little bit of watercoloring tonight with this card, which I haven't done in a long, long time. All right, so I'm going to pull everything out real quick. And then we're also going to use the Wonderful Thoughts. So we're going to use this die right here, and we're going to actually cut that out so that I can make sure that it's straight. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, let's put this here so that we can do all this. All right, so here's our watercolor paper. I'm going to leave everything else to the side. Sorry, I have the hiccups now. Okay, I'm going to grab my grid paper because I really want to make sure that I don't get it messy everywhere. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my soft seafoam and I'm going to just put ink onto this block here, okay? And I stuck my finger in it, so yay for that. Now I'm going to take this spritzer here. This just has water in it. And I found this to be the easiest way to do it because all we're doing is just kind of a white or a soft seafoam wash in the back. So I just want to make sure that, yes, Sharon, we actually do have watercolor paper. It's called Fluid 100. And they come in little packs like this. And it just says Fluid 100. And when you look on Stampin' Up's website, that's how you have to look for it. All of it is 5x7 sheets, and then you cut it down or you can keep it that size. So yes, we do. And I like our watercolor paper. Again, I don't use it very often, but I like our watercolor paper. I think it holds water very well. It doesn't like disintegrate like some have. Okay, so I've got the water in there and I'm just going to spray the paper. I'm kind of saturating it because I want the background to be really light. And then I'm taking one of our watercolor painters, or water painters, I think is what they call it. I'm going to add a little bit of water to there too, because I really do want it to be really light. Okay. And the reason I put a lot of water on here is because it will allow it to get lighter. And I'm making it a little darker on the bottom. And then as I go up, it'll be a little lighter. Okay. And I am good with that. So now I'm going to take my chamois, wherever I have put that. And what I'm going to do is actually just get that ink off so that I don't literally put it everywhere else that I touch. Okay. Now, we need it to be dry. So I'm actually going to use our heat tool. And I'm going to just leave it there on the paper. And if you don't like loud noises, turn your volume down. And we're just going to dry it real quick. And I'm okay if the water moves around. And it'll take it a minute or so. But I wanted to show you that you can do this card all in one sitting instead of having to wait for it to dry. Using this heat tool really does make it much easier. And I just move back and forth until it dries. All right, and then I'm just going to flip it over and do the other side, which then will allow the paper to kind of fold, so it'll be easier to put on our card front. Okay. All right, so now we are dry, and I'm going to move this out the way since it is now wet and warped. And we are going to take some shaded spruce. Hey, Verna, I didn't see you up there. And we're going to take this large image, the largest one, and we're going to stamp it right here on the end. And I'm going to make sure that it's, because you're on a little bit thicker paper, you just want to make sure that you stamp it really well. And then we're going to take our little one, and we're gonna stamp it once. And then we're gonna ink it up again. We're gonna stamp it all the way to the right, like that. Then, without re-inking, we're going to stamp it again. And then we have our little, like, bunch of trees. Okay, now we need to do our sentiment. So we're gonna take our piece of shaded spruce. I'm gonna set that aside. We're gonna grab our embossing buddy and then just give it a good rub. We're gonna take our Versamark and we're gonna ink it up. Then we're gonna stamp it. And it's not really gonna matter if it's straight or if it's not straight because we're gonna cut it out after stamping it tonight. You know, I usually go ahead and do it all so you don't have to watch me do all that. Okay. Now, we're gonna take our powder and I'm gonna take this little cup right here because I feel like that makes it a little bit easier. And then we're just gonna drop it right on there. Okay. Then we just want to make sure that it got covered really well, and it looks like it did. So we're going to put our top back on so that we do not spill it everywhere. And then we're going to take our heat tool and do it again. Hello, Jimmy. How are you? And of course, if you don't like the loud noise, go ahead and close your ears for just a minute. And then it doesn't take very long to get this powder to melt and become shiny and pretty. Okay. All right, and then let me grab the machine. And we are going to cut it out, so I'm going to leave that right there so that y'all can see. We'll grab that die. Hello, Angie. And then I'm going to tape it down because if I don't, I will probably move it as I run it through and then I'll have to start over. Now, this sentiment actually literally fits in perfectly with this label. So I made sure. It is, Angie, it's the new embossing powder, and I do like it a lot better than our older powder. I like it a lot. So it is definitely much, I think it doesn't have all the little, like, I almost felt like the last one used to have like little polka dots and stuff in it, and I feel like it's more solid than our last stuff. So I didn't stamp that very well, but I promise you it is better. Much better. And I will say this, the price point shocked me a little bit. It actually really shocked me, but the embossing powder lasts forever. You know, I mean, it's the same amount that we've always had. And I probably had, so this is just the regular jar, Angie. And it's, you know, it's pretty full. And this will probably last me 3 or 4 years, if not longer. It'll probably, embossing powder does go bad. So it'll probably go bad long before I'll ever be done with it. That's what I love about embossing powder. So anyway, I never run out of embossing powder. Even in classes, even when I use it in classes, I never have a problem. So, all right, so now we've got those two pieces done. So we're gonna take, this is our baker's twine. We're gonna take the crumb cake. You could also do the gray granite for this one if you wanted, but we're gonna take the crumb cake because I'm almost done with this roll. And we're gonna wrap it as many times as we can. And I think that's going to be about it. Yep. Okay. So just twice. We'll have a little bit left. And then we're just going to tie a bow. If my fingers will work. Okay. All right. And then we're going to trim off the end. So Nancy, you can tell when it goes bad because I think it was a white that went bad. And what happened was that it took forever for it to heat up, but it was real splotchy. So you can't really tell until you actually emboss with it that it was bad. And it's not like it doesn't like have a smell or anything like that. It doesn't like, you don't see mold or things like that. It just doesn't emboss very well. And I just thought it was me and not doing things right. Years, Sharon, years. I had the one that went bad, I probably got not long after I had joined Stampin' Up. So that was like 2014. And I think Angie, I can't remember when I gave you some white. I think it was like at Christmas, wasn't it? And if that was the case, I had just maybe bought that. I hadn't had that thing for very long. So I mean, it was like 7 years before it went bad. And not all of them do. There are some people who've had them for like 12, 13 years and they do fine. But if it doesn't emboss right, then you know you need to switch it out. Because the Versamark, you can re-ink as well. And it's not, you know, I've never had the Versamark go bad. So maybe I had a bad batch. I don't think so, but because I had it for so long. But yeah. Oh, okay. So it was, yeah. So then I had maybe had it like 2 months. So yeah, it was probably 12, 13 years, or well, no, let's see. How long have I been a part of Stampin' Up? Almost 10. So yeah, it was probably 8 years old, 8 or 9 years old. Yeah. It was not too very old. I mean, it was old. It was old. The new one was not very old. So, but yeah. And I can't even remember because I started doing some research on maybe why my wasn't working very well. And I want to say it was like another top demonstrator who had said that it can go bad. And I was like, oh, well, maybe that's why. And so I started watching videos on it and realized that, yeah, mine just wasn't embossing the way it should anymore. Okay, so I put dimensionals on the back. I'm going to add one more there to the center. And right here, just because I want to make sure it doesn't go flat there. And you'll notice that I put edges down on both top and bottom. And that's so that we can straddle that ribbon because I want to make sure it doesn't rock. And then we're going to make sure it's straight like that. Okay, perfect. And then we now have our card base, and it's going to be your basic white. And we're going to fold it in half. I did actually give it a score line today. Okay. And then this paper here, we're going to add, this is the Wildly Flowering, I think is what it's called. Yes, Wildly Flowering. And I actually didn't think I would like this paper, but I do. And so we're going to put that on all the way. So we're going to, of course, use our liquid glue. Oh, and I just got it very thick. So let's see how I can not squish it out. We're going to rub it that way. Okay. All right, so there we go. Then we're going to take this, flip it over. We're going to pop it up. Nancy, yeah. Sometimes I get to where I use it a whole lot, and then sometimes I don't at all. So I don't think I had used embossing powder since before Christmas. And then, of course, I decided last night that I just wanted to go haywire with it and started really embossing everything. So, okay, we're going to take the backs off, maybe. And then we're going to stick this right on our front in the center. And ta-da, there we go. There is our card number 1. Yeah, no, we haven't, Sharon. We haven't, because we've had a lot of new people, and I get afraid. I get afraid that people will get, you know, real frustrated if I give them a whole bunch of new stuff or a whole bunch of cutting out stuff. So I tend to try to do really easy stuff in our class. So, all right, let's move on to card number 2. I'm gonna move some stuff away so that I don't get overcrowded here. Okay, so there's always a big thing. Oh yeah, Nancy, yeah, there's always stages of crafting. Always. Okay, so Christmas in July is a huge thing. I've never been into Christmas in July until last year. So you could technically turn this card into a Christmas card too if you did, like, you know, Merry Christmas or whatever on it. But I wanted to do a specific Christmas card. So we're going to make this one. And this one is also going to do, we're going to do a little bit of our blending. The stamp set for the sentiment, just because this is not in the Frosted Forest bundle, it is from the Trucking Along, wishing you a festive Christmas. So, and let's go ahead and I'm going to grab everything out because I'm going to need it. The paper that we're going to use is from, it's called Gold and Green, or Seasons of Gold and Green. And it is in the online exclusives as well. And this paper has some amazing, like, gold accents to it. And it has one pattern that is truly my favorite. And I'm going to show you a card at the very end with it on there. All right, so we're going to fold our card base in half. And we're going to go ahead and put our front piece on. And we're going to use some liquid glue. Thank you, Kathy. Oh, I guess I should say this because I know there are a lot of you on here that come to the card class here in Columbia, or Winsboro technically. Class is not this coming weekend due to 4th of July. It is on the 13th. So make sure that you make that note. I will be across the street or across the yard if you do show up, but it will be on the 13th. Okay, so before we start stamping, I'm going to go ahead and put some of these pieces on. So this is just a piece of crumb cake. And then we're going to do Mossy Meadow. I wanted the strips to kind of pop out a little bit, so that's why I went with Mossy Meadow instead of Old Olive, which is, you've got Old Olive and Mossy Meadow in the cardstock. Okay, so we're going to take some more liquid glue. Deb, I think you're rubbing off on me here with this liquid glue stuff. I'm starting to get the hang of it, I think. And we're going to stick this in the center of the card base. And then you can use the lines to make sure you have it pretty straight. Make sure I'm in here. Here, let me move a little bit further this way. And we'll stick this one on. Right to there. Okay, and then last but not least, I wouldn't say it's addicting yet, ladies, but it's probably starting to become that way. I will say it is, I use less bottles than I do of my Seal Plus, for sure. I go through Seal Plus like nobody's business. I should have stock in it. Okay, so now we've got our 3 pieces there, and we are going to now take our piece of basic white cardstock. I am going to grab my cleaner, and we are going to stamp the large Christmas tree, the one we used in the last card. Oh, good. Thanks, Sharon. I wasn't sure with the stripes and all that, but I felt like it worked. All right, so we're going to take some Mossy Meadow, and we're going to stamp this right here in the center. And the Mossy Meadow gives us a darker background. For the tree itself, it gives us the outline in the dark. Okay, so then we've got that. And now I'm going to grab a piece of grid paper. I'm going to fold it in half. Have you, I had 3 back-to-back, Kathy, that did it, but then I haven't had a problem since. Stampin' Up, of course, replaced it, replaced all 3, and then I haven't had a problem since. So I do feel like because we are in like the heat, bad heat, I feel like during the summer, the seal doesn't do as well because of the heat. Yes, Nancy, these trees are amazing. I feel like it's because of the heat, though. Okay, so we're going to take A, and we're going to line it up. And the great thing, y'all, that I learned about these masks was that if you don't line it up perfect, it's okay, because it still looks fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, actually, before I line it up, I'm going to take a piece of my mint tape, and I'm actually going to attach it to the back of my card just so that it doesn't slip and slide. Okay, then I'm going to take this, place it on top, lay it there, and then I'm just going to put this down the side. That's all I need to do. All right, so then I'm going to grab my blending brushes, which is going to be Old Olive, we're going to ink it up, and then we're going to run across. I'm going to flip it upside down, okay? Just because I'm left-handed. I probably put it on wrong. Yeah, maybe that is it. I don't know, but so the liquid glue is getting my attention because of the seal, for sure. So we're going to do a light layer of our Old Olive. So we just want to like wipe off some, and then we just want to go over it. Now mine are really inked up well. So we'll get it on there really good. But do you see how you can still see the Mossy Meadow? And that's what I wanted. I wanted that definition of the tree to kind of poke out some, to stand out, not poke out, stand out. All right, I think that is good. So now we're going to take this one off, and see, that's staying there because I have it adhered. We're going to lay that there. We're going to take B. We're going to line it up. And again, it does not have to be perfect at all. We're going to adhere this down. Then we're going to take that Old Olive again. We're going to get it a little darker this time. And it's going to blend in. And then we're going to go over it a couple times because you just want to make sure that it's really dark. And that's what I actually love about this blending with these, because you can add as much ink to the top of it to get it darker and darker and darker. And do you see? It's already got that dark little edge at the bottom. Okay. So now let's take this one off. And we're going to do the last one. And that's going to be C. And you want to make sure that your letters are up facing you. All right, so now this one is going to be like another little layer underneath. I'm going to do that. And now we're really going to get some good ink on it and get it blended in really well. And one of the reasons why I only do one side is because I want to be able to pick it up and see if I like the definition of it with the different layers there. And then all I have to do is flip it back down if I'm not happy with it. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Okay. All right, so then we're going to take that off. And then we have this piece that we can take off now. Now, one little thing I did, because I am just that way, is on this tree, I didn't really want all the white. So I'm going to take my Old Olive blending brush, and I'm just going to lightly, I'm not pressing down hard at all. I'm just going to lightly, because I want it to look like a Christmas tree, not the forest. So I'm just lightly adding some additional green, and it kind of fills in that little area. Now, if you get outside of the tree, that's okay, because it just gives it like a little bit of a hue, and I think it looks really nice that way. Okay, so now we have that. I'm gonna set that aside. We have our sentiment that we are gonna stamp in real red, because you can't have a Christmas card without some red, right? At least that's what I told myself. Yeah, and y'all, these masks really, and I don't know why I haven't used them before. This is probably like our third or fourth set, I guess, in the catalogs, and I haven't gotten a single one of them. Other than, I think I've given a couple away for team rewards, but that's it. But I have not personally used them myself, and I am kicking myself because I love it. Absolutely love it. It does all the work for you. All you do is blend. Okay, we're gonna put this piece on a early espresso. I'm gonna pull out my seal for this, ladies. We're gonna do the seal so I don't squish out some of that liquid glue on this one. All right, and then we're gonna stick it right here. Like that, press it down nicely, pull in our card base, and we're gonna pop this up with dimensionals. And 3 more. All right. This will go on the center. And because you know I love dimensionals, we're gonna pop up the sentiment as well. Let me move that over just a touch. There we go. Okay, so then we're gonna pop up our sentiment too. So we're gonna grab 3, put 1 on each end, 1 in the center. Then we are going to take our linen thread, oops. Move that over just a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna take some linen thread, my favorite. Thank you, Nancy. And you know, this is actually really easy to make. And if you wanted to not waste any of the designer series paper, you could even cut it to 4 by 5 1/4, and then you could get 6 cards out of every piece of designer series paper if you wanted to do, you know, Christmas cards with this kind of design. So I have no idea what I'm going to do for my Christmas cards this year, but, well, I don't really do Christmas cards for myself. I do them for the church. That's it. That's all I do. So, oh, you know what? I just made that really big. I don't need it big. I just need it tiny. Tiny, tiny. Okay. All right. So then we're going to grab a glue dot and we're going to roll this glue dot up because we want to make sure that it's little and tiny. And we're going to stick it right there on our card front. Make sure it's all nice and balled up. And then we'll stick our little bow on it. Like that. Okay. And then last but not least, let's add our little embellishments. And I love these embellishments. You have 2 colors, but then you also have different shapes. Now, great thing about this is if you run out of these and you still need single ones, you can always cut these up. These are adhered together, but you can cut them so that you can have single ones as well. But these are gorgeous. I love these colors. So we're gonna add a bunch of them. And, all right, that's 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, there we go. And that is card or project number 2. Okay. And I had those really far up, didn't I? Sorry. Okay, so our last project is this one here. For whatever reason, when I was creating cards, I was so determined to use glimmer paper, and I don't know why, but I couldn't figure out how to make it work with the other 2 cards. So this is what I came up with to make it work for this one. Now, something really cool, the tree, we're gonna do our little thing with it, blending. But what I want to show you is that this is actually wood grain paper. So it gives it a good, fun texture on it when you do your blending. So, yes, and you can do that too. Deb, sorry, you were, how do you exactly line it up? Yes. So there is the notches that are on it. If you line up the notches, that's where you want to do it. So you could mark your card to where the notch is and then do the rest of them. I just freestyle it. I freestyle it. And because, in all honesty, with these right here, these 2, the small one and the large one, it doesn't matter even if you're off a little bit, it still comes out perfect. I think it still looks really well. But if you are very determined to have it match, then yes, do a little mark there. I think Kathy said a little pencil mark. And then you can line it up exactly. So, Nancy, wood grain paper. Yes. Okay. So the wood grain paper is a designer, well, it's a specialty paper. This is part of the new online exclusives that is coming out. And it is called, well, it's called wood textured specialty paper. And it's all white, which I love because then you can add ink and make it any color you want to, which is fantastic. I love when they do it like that because then you can do whatever you want to. Okay. let's see, where am I doing now? Let's see, we're gonna pull all these out. And then we are going to first, let's do our little pieces here. So you're gonna have one for the inside, one for the outside. If you order this class, then you'll get 2 pieces of that. We are gonna take our little front piece. We're gonna take some Pool Party because I want it to be a little less stark white, but I didn't want to do Pool Party background. Hey Betty, how are you? I didn't want it to be just the Pool Party background, which I think I've done several times before. So we are literally just doing a light Pool Party background. So it almost looks like a very vanilla. You could do very vanilla if you wanted to, but again, I felt like it needed just a touch of color. And you can't even really tell, it just doesn't look white. So, all right. And you really only have to do the top part. And I'm not being real particular on it. All right, so now we've got that. And we are going to, since we've already got that piece out, let's go ahead and do our coloring. Okay, I'm gonna take that tape again, put it on the back. Now I'm gonna take the other 3 masks. Oh, and Kathy. Oh, so you actually mark your cardstock with it and not like the, okay, awesome. You are way more organized than I am. Me, I'm like, oh, let's just go, which is really odd because you know how I am. Okay, so we're gonna take this middle trunk. This is number 1. You know what, let's do this. Okay, so if I do this, let's see, do I have a pencil over here? No, I don't have a pencil. And since it's that small, we're gonna do this. All right, so if I line it up here, if I mark it here, we're gonna do it this way. Then we can line it up the rest of the time. All right, so there we go. Then I'm gonna take that tape we were using before and I'm gonna put it down the side like that, because that's gonna keep it in place. We're gonna take some pecan pie because we want this to be a little summery. And I've got my blending brush. Now, I'm not going to put as much ink on it as I did when I did my sample because I felt like it took out the wood grain color. It really got in the grooves, and I want it to have that wood grain look on it, okay? So we're just going to do light on it this go round. Okay, so I think that is good. And then ta-da, so it looks a little weird right now. So there's one. And by the way, to clean them, all you have to do is use a baby wipe and maybe a towel to get, you know, to let it dry. Or you can run it under water and it will come right off. So I used Granny Apple Green for my second color, and my Granny Apple Green has run away. Oh, here it is. Nope, that's not it. Well, that is interesting. It's not in my bucket. Nope, it's not in there. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Here it is. Or maybe I did use Old Olive. I don't think I did, though. It looks like I actually used Old Olive. Okay, we're going to go with Old Olive. Oh, gotcha, Kathy. Okay. So Kathy does do it like this. Okay, perfect. Okay. So then we're going to take the second one. We're going to line it up. And again, you can line it up with that mark right there. and that will make it so that it is perfectly on there. Okay. Grab the Old Olive blending brush. And then we're going to fill it in. And again, I'm not going to go very dark because I want to make sure that the paper still has the grains in it. I want that texture to be there. Oh, I need to leave that. All right, so now we're going to do the third one. So we'll line it up with our little arrow there. Oh, we're going to flip it around though. Like that. And then do some Old Olive over it. And we'll do that a little darker, a little heavier. But again, not so heavy because I still want it to have the texture. And then ta-da. Now, again, I was not totally in love with the white in the background because it has the texture. So what I did for this is before I take it off that little piece there, I'm going to take and lightly fill in with the Old Olive. Okay? So it just blends it all in. It takes away that white. And then we have our tree. We'll take that sticker off. And we will move that out of the way. While we're stamping, let's go ahead and grab our pecan pie back. We're going to grab our little piece here. And we're going to stamp our little birthday sentiment. There we go. Oh, yes. So, yes. So Nancy answered that, Sharon. Yes, it is white. It is all white, which is what I love because then you can make it whatever color you want, which makes it really easy. All right. So then we've got some of our glimmer paper. Now we just need to make a hill because a tree should not be sitting on something flat. So I'm literally going to hold my lips shut and I'm going to cut a hill for us. Okay. Let's see if I can do this live. I've had a little bit of practice lately, but I think that's pretty good. You could also use this one if you really wanted to, but that's too low. You could always use that for a background piece later on. All right, so this is gonna go here, and it is a little longer or a little bigger than our cardstock. So we are going to use some liquid glue, and then we're going to adhere it down here, even. We're going to cut off that end of it. So I'm going to let that dry for a minute because I did overextend that liquid glue there. So in the meantime, I'm going to grab out my silicone mat so I do not get it on my desk here. We are going to take our polka dot ribbon, which I have not used very much, and I love it. Yes, thank you. I'm going to cut 2 small pieces, just like that. We're going to take and put a little bit of ink on our right side of our sentiment, and we're going to do seal, because that will be better. And then we're going to do that one down. And then this one's going to be up like that. And we're basically just creating it to have a banner. Oh, I need to put some more. Let's put a little bit more adhesive there. All right, so we're going to pull that one out just a little bit. There we go. All right, and then, oops. Let's try this again. Okay, we're gonna put that one there. We're gonna put this one here, like that. Okay, then we're gonna take and trim this at an angle. So we're just creating a little flag at the end, but I didn't want to fold it because then when you fold this ribbon to make like a little banner, you only have the one side that doesn't have any of the polka dots, and I wanted the polka dots to show on both sides. So that's why I did it like that. And so then we'll close that up. This can be, that is showing white on the bottom, but it'll be all right. I'll get over it. We're gonna take and pop this up here on our card front there. We're gonna do one there, one here, and then one right here. And then this is gonna go right there. And I'm putting the sentiment on first because when I put the sentiment on, then I wanna make sure that wherever my tree goes, that it's not getting covered up by the sentiment, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut an edge here on our dimensionals. We're gonna stick it on our trunk right there. Then we're gonna grab a bunch of dimensionals here. We're gonna add 2 more because I'm special. And take these off. My fingers are done working now. They're said they're tired of all the dimensional backings coming off. And then we are gonna stick this over here like that. And it can hang off just a little bit because you're gonna put this on a card base. I'm gonna grab my little cutter. And then we're gonna trim that off right there. And ta-da! Okay, so now we're gonna flip this part over. We're gonna grab our Granny Apple Green, give it a good crease with our bone folder. We're gonna take this and pop it up. And, well, that was the perfect number there. And da-da-da-da. And then we're gonna flip it and put it down here. Like that. And you'll see it's hanging off a little bit, but it is flush with that Granny Apple Green, so we are good. We're gonna take this piece, put it on the inside. We're gonna use seal to do that to make it quick. And down we go. Last but not least, we're gonna add our, these are the coffee ones. These are the adhesive back swirl ones. This goes along with the coffee online exclusive set. So we're gonna use that to put some embellishments on. Use that pecan pie color. And you can see my hill is a little higher on this one, which is fine. No card is exactly the same. Oops. There we go. All right, and then there is the last card. All right, so I have a little something extra for y'all this week. I could not stop creating with this bundle. And with it, I came up, well, I didn't come up with some 2 of these cards. 2 of these cards are in the pictures that we were given for the online exclusives, and this is what really made me fall in love with this set. Let me put these here so y'all can see all the ones we did tonight. Okay, so you've got those. This is what made me fall in love with this bundle, this card right here. Y'all, this is absolutely stunning. Y'all know how much I love fall. And when I saw this, I had to have it, this is part of that designer series paper right there. This is one of the patterns. This is probably my favorite pattern right that Stampin' Up! Has. This and the other green one that is in the vegetable market set. So that one made me fall in love. Then there's also this one. And if you are on my email list, you are gonna get a full tutorial on how to create these 2 cards on Friday. So if you are not on my email list, make sure that you click the link in the description of this video so that you can be added to my email list so that you can get the full tutorial on both of these cards. I love this one too. Here's some of the white heat embossing that I did there. And yes, so this one is stunning too. This is a little different than the one that they have on the website. As I decided I wanted to do blends instead of actually using the blending brushes. So then I created this card too. I'm going to tell you I'm not necessarily in love with this one. But I created this one. I was trying to do like the cutout and put a sentiment on the inside. It's growing on me, but I feel like it's missing something. So I'm going to be posting this one on my Facebook page later tonight. And I want suggestions on what it's missing. And then we're going to try the different ways. Whatever your suggestion is, I'm going to try it, post it, see if you like it. And then if you don't, then we'll take it off and we'll do something different. Because I feel like it's there, but even my husband agreed something is missing from it. So make sure you join my email list so that you can get full tutorials on this. It'll be a step-by-step instruction. And then also, we're gonna figure out how to make this one so that I like it. So you think it has too much white, Kathy? Okay, so when I post the card, put that on there, and then tell me which color I should shade in the background for it. Okay? All right. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. I truly appreciate it. And thank y'all for all your sweet and kind words for saying that you really like the cards for tonight. Don't forget, you can get this, the make and take for these 3 cards here. When you spend $35 before tax and shipping in my online store, I will mail it to you directly. The only thing you have to create the projects are the stamps. Obviously, if you have any other tree stamps, you can use those as well. So have questions, let me know, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.